What's going on, guys? In this video we're going over once you stop chasing, she will start caring. Be sure to stick around to the end because I'm going to explain what this actually means, because most guys are completely missing the point with it. Before we get into that, my name's Keith. I made this channel to help men create their ideal lives through self-mastery. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you don't miss tomorrow's video, and let's get straight into it. The motivation for this video really came from a viewer I had from a few videos ago. He left me a comment and he seemed like he was really struggling to deal with girls, and part of his question was he wanted to be acknowledged by women, and he wanted to have success with women, and it almost felt like he felt bad about it, because we have this thing in the self-help world where we act like you shouldn't be focused on girls, you should be focused on other things, and guys take this to mean that it's a bad thing that they want to go be with girls, as if a real alpha male has bigger fish to fry and doesn't care about the fact that he's sexually active and he's a man with a dick and balls, right? We have this thing going on in self-help, and I could tell from this question it seemed to be really in there with it, because part of it was he was like, I know I should be focusing on other things. He was like, so what is it? Do I just need to keep focusing on myself and they'll come, or what is it? And I really realized in this question, it hit me that the real thing guys are struggling with here is, like, they'll hear a video that'll say something like, once you stop caring, she starts chasing, and that's true. And most of these videos, they go down the path of explaining how if you're focusing on other things, that's attractive because women don't want a needy man, and that's all very true. But I wanted to hit this from a different angle in this video and talk about what it really means to stop caring, because the irony is most guys, when they try to stop caring, they're actually caring more, because then they notice the fact that they have a sexual impulse and they feel bad about it, and they feel bad about the fact that they want girls more than they want to work on building a business or something. And this is just like, it's stupid and wrong-headed, and it's about basically what these guys are doing is they're repressing their sexual desire, and that's just completely unhealthy. And I've talked about this in NoFap videos, and guys don't seem to get what I'm trying to say here, is that, because I'll tell guys, don't count your streak if you're on NoFap or something like that, because the point isn't the streak, and then you start repressing your sexual desire, essentially. So here's the thing, though, guys, about this is when it comes to self-development, like I said, so many guys think we need to focus on me and I shouldn't care about girls, and they act like it's really bad that they have these urges and impulses to talk to girls, and that deep down they do want to have a girl in their life, and they think that makes them weak. But guys, I'll be honest, I've never met in my life, including myself, a guy who, for example, is more interested in looking at sales pages than he is at looking at tits. Honestly, like, I've never even seen a gay dude who feels that way. Like, guys are naturally interested in girls, and that's okay. And the real power and the real ability to stop caring is to stop caring about the fact that you're interested in it. But so many guys get really caught up in this, and they think, well, I just need to go full force on real estate investing and building my body and all this stuff, and ignore girls altogether. But the point isn't that you ignore the girls. The point is that you acknowledge the fact that that part of you is there, that there's the part of you that definitely wants girls, and that's totally fine and that's totally normal, and then you just don't let it control you. But too many guys put all these negative emotions with this. They put shame into the equation. I feel bad because I want to be on Instagram. They find themselves looking at girls on Instagram or Pornhub or Tinder or something, and they feel bad about this. And there's nothing to feel bad about here. And the irony is, the more you feel bad about it, the more you keep focusing on it, and the more you keep driving towards this point, and you don't really end up getting anything done in any area of your life. Guys, I got a news flash for you here, though, is you should not feel shame around the fact that you're sexual. And when you stop feeling shame around it, and you stop feeling like it's not a good thing for you to be sexual, and I should be more focused on all these other things than girls, it's yeah, maybe you should be, but the fact of the matter is, you're a man, you like women. 99% of guys like women, right? So the thing isn't to act like you don't like them and act like it's a problem that you like them. The thing is, you just acknowledge it and don't let it control you. It would be the same thing as, let's say you're on a diet, right? And you go to the grocery store, and most people would rather eat donuts than, say, broccoli or something like that. And that makes sense, not only just because it tastes better, but because it biologically triggers hormones in your body, because it's sugary food, and sugary food triggers hormones. So basically, this is the equivalent of is if you went to the grocery store and you started beating yourself up for the fact that you would rather eat donuts than broccoli. And it's you don't beat yourself up for it. You just acknowledge the fact that, like, yeah, I'm a fat fuck at heart and I would rather eat donuts than broccoli. And then you go proceed to eat what you should eat on your diet rather than breaking your diet. It's the same thing with this. It's like part of you wants to go watch porn, or part of you wants to go look at girls on the internet, or part of you really, really wants to go spend all your energy chasing after girls. And instead of feeling bad about that, you just accept it. Be like, yeah, like there's part of me there. And in fact, that's motivating and inspiring, because that's like, I don't think most guys would give a crap about being rich or having great bodies if part of the motivation wasn't that it helped you get with girls. Now, you might be wondering at this point, like, what does this have to do with when you stop caring, she starts chasing? And I'll explain that right now. It comes down to two things. The first thing is that once you accept the fact that you are a sexual person, rather than feeling bad about it and thinking like, I should be more interested in learning about real estate investing than I am about dealing with girls, which is not true. Every guy is more interested in girls than real estate, just about. I mean, like, once you figure this out and once you just accept it, is you gain a lot of power over yourself, and you stop holding in this like sexual energy and feeling bad about it, and it resonates through your body. You can see, like, this is the thing, is it's hard to notice this because most guys in our society are sexually repressed. It's a real epidemic. It's been an epidemic for a long time. In fact, Freud said that most of the disorders of his time had to do with sexual repression. And the psychoanalysts have always said that repression was the cause of neurosis, which is about psychological disorders. So when you repress your sexual urge, it comes out in different areas. And when you accept it, and look at a guy who you see as, like, maybe you have a friend or you just know somebody who seems to be really comfortable in the fact that they are a man. They don't, like, you look at that guy and he doesn't have to treat women badly. He doesn't feel bad about the fact that he wants girls. And he's also the guy who seems to be on his shit. He seems to have his shit together. And it's not because he's, like, ignoring the fact, like, constantly ignoring the fact that he wants girls. To the contrary, it's the fact that he's accepted that that's part of him. And once he's accepted it, it stops bothering him, and he can get on with his life and he can focus on other things. And that's the irony of this, is when you stop caring about the fact that you're sexual and stop making it a thing and just acknowledge that it's a part of you, the same way it's a part of you that you want to eat and it's a part of you that you want to breathe. It's like you don't think anything about it and it doesn't distract you from living your life. And what happens is the girls can notice this because you don't come off like a creep and you don't come off stifled. You don't look like you're completely focused on them, because it's so funny. Like, the guys who, like, a good example of this again is like guys who know how to fight. For example, guys who know how to fight never have to use their ability to fight. And the reason is because it just kind of, you can tell, like, a guy knows how to kick some ass. And also the guys who are really uncomfortable, the nice guy types who are uncomfortable with being aggressive, are the ones who will stab you in the back. The guys who are repressing their sexuality, who are uncomfortable with it, are the ones who end up doing a bunch of bad stuff with girls. And the guys who are comfortable with their sexuality never have to treat women bad, and the women come to them as a result. And they get to live a fulfilling life because this part of them is not stunting them psychologically. The other part of this is simply about the fact that once you have freed your sexual energy, you stop feeling bad about it, you stop repressing it, you acknowledge that honestly, most of the time you would rather be with a girl than you would be focusing on a business. Once you acknowledge that and stop acting like that's not normal for you to feel that way, it gives you freedom over your life, because you're not focused on this thing so much. It's just a part of who you are. The same way, like I was saying, if you are comfortable with being aggressive, you very rarely have to be aggressive, because you know, like, if you know how to say no to something, it just resonates through who you are. Like, you can look at your friends and tell who's got stones and who doesn't, who you can walk all over and who's going to tell you to stop if they don't like what you're doing. And it just, like, they don't have to say anything. It just resonates through who they are. It's the same thing with sex. You can tell who's comfortable being sexual, who's not. Guys who are fully integrated, who have integrated in particular their sexuality, are able to now focus on other things, right? I actually had a friend, he asked me about this a couple weeks ago. He's like, why are you not, like he didn't understand why I didn't watch porn. I brought this up to him, and he asked me, he was like, I don't understand, like, why you're not, like, always, like, chasing girls and stuff. It's like, I can talk to girls fine, I'm comfortable with it, but I honestly think all it is like, I can focus on other things. And look, I'm not perfect at this. I've actually been really working on this a lot lately, but I'm good at this, or I'm better than most at it, simply because I'm comfortable with the fact that I'm sexual. I'm like, all right, yeah, I like the girl, and then it's like, keep it moving. This doesn't have to be a big deal. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just something that is. And essentially when you do this, it just stops being an issue for you. And when you stop caring about it, they'll start chasing you, because that's the true point when you start focusing on other things. A lot of guys miss this point when they're making videos like this and they tell you, just stop caring about girls and focus on other things and it'll come, but they don't tell you, like, the way they say it is as if it's wrong for you to want girls. It's not wrong for you to want girls, except that you want it, but just focus on other things. I mean, in fact, you could almost use this as your motivation, because I guarantee you, like 90% of guys out there who are chasing excellence are doing it because they, deep down in their mind, they know this helps them get girls. So denying the fact that you should want girls does not actually help you get like the money you want, get the business you want, get the body you want. Acknowledging that that's something you want and acknowledging that what you're doing is helping you is actually helpful. So when you stop caring about like acting like it's a problem that you're sexual, admit it, acknowledge it, don't repress it, and then you can now control it. You can focus on these other things and you can enjoy being a sexual human being, and the girls will come to you, because so many guys, I'm telling you, are completely repressed sexually. It's like, I mean, if I had to guess, probably 80% of guys in like their 20s are sexually repressed. We live in this era where sex has been turned into a complete objectifying thing. There's just ass everywhere. Most guys were raised in very feminized households with parents who also had sexual issues. I mean, this has like been a thing in human culture for several hundred years now, at least, probably way longer than that. That's just as far as I can think of. But I mean, this has been a real issue for human beings, and so integrating this part into yourself has a humongous impact on your ability to communicate with girls. And when you do integrate it, they'll come to you, and you can focus on the other things, and you get the whole package. So basically, I'll just wrap this up by explaining exactly how I do this. So this actually happened right before I started making this video, so it's a good thing that I made this. I was like on my phone, and I had this impulse hit me in my head. It was like, gee, I'd really like to go on Instagram and look at some girls or something like that, right? It just hits you, and every guy hits them. And and at first it actually caught me. I was like, why are you focusing on that? You should be focusing on this. And like I started almost feeling bad about the fact that I wanted to do it. But I caught myself, because I was actually writing down the stuff for this video. I caught myself and I was like, no, accept the fact that it's there. And I almost took a pause and kind of accepted that like part of me that is sexually desirous, because it's in every man. It's like a biological impulse. And I accepted it. I didn't let it go. I mean, like, I didn't fight it. I didn't resist it. I didn't make it feel bad. I just acknowledged it was there. And in fact, I had a really good feeling come through my body when I did, because I love the fact that I'm a sexual person. I love the fact that I'm attracted to women. It's a nice part of life. And when I did that, it literally went away. And I haven't thought about it since. I haven't had to resist masturbating or something, where guys are always having, this is another reason guys have so much trouble on NoFap, is they get into it and they start resisting it so hard, and then it doesn't go anywhere. You just kind of acknowledge that it's there, let it go. It's like, all right, it's part of life. Like, we always have fantasies come through our head. All right, there it is, nothing to be ashamed of here, and keep it moving with your life. So that's really how I do it. I'll acknowledge to myself that it happened. I don't repress it. I don't run from it. I just let it be, and then keep it moving with my life. But guys, if you got something out of this video, be sure to give me a like so I can reach more guys with my message. Again, hit the subscribe button, bell icon, so you don't miss tomorrow's video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.